just dropped a bombshell about Caitlin Clark injury that you might want to hear. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it.
Reactions and thoughts on it. And that is the news that Caitlin Clark is out with a groin injury. Now, if you guys have been watching the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark play over the past 3 games, it is very clear.
I am here to tell you guys, Caitlin Clark has been missing in action for quite some time, man. She's been missing a lot of games this season. I did a video yesterday kind of letting y'all know, man, I
feeling like Caitlin Clark. She has only made 1 3-pointer in her last 3 games, and even just last game, she only had 6 points. But it wasn't only her performance on the court that was.
Why would the Indiana Fever call Caitlin Clark's groin injury day to day when a top medical expert says that's medically impossible? This chilling revelation casts doubt on the team's transparency. Could they be hiding the true extent of Clark's injury? Or is there a deeper reason behind this cover-up? Stay tuned to uncover what the front office doesn't want fans to know. This goes beyond just an injury. Imagine this: your team's star player goes down with an injury, and the official word from the organization is that she's day to day. Sounds manageable, right? But then, week after week, she's still out, and now the games you penciled in as wins are suddenly up in the air. That's exactly what's happening with Caitlin Clark's groin injury. Except there's one major problem. According to a leading sports injury expert, groin strains aren't and likely can't be day-to-day injuries. Their exact words? Groin injuries are not day-to-day. When Caitlin Clark's injury was first reported, the team's updates made it sound like she'd be back in time to barely catch her breath. They radiated optimism.
It's my theory. Caitlin Clark adding all that muscle a little bit too quick, fast, and in a hurry could be part of the reason why she got injured, bro. Now, with that being said, that's not to take away
fans. It was also just her demeanor, her energy. It felt like something was wrong. She wasn't hyping up the crowd like she normally does. And even in her pregame routine, she was doing some things differently.
From how physical the league been. We know they like to press Caitlin Clark, hacker, full court press all the way through. Now, we have to have this be considered as well. Caitlin Clark adding that muscle.
A lot of things going on, a lot of things pointing to the fact that something wasn't right. And I have to be totally honest with you guys, I'm not surprised by this news at all. I was just having a conversation with my fiance last night, and I told him, I was like,
telling fans not to worry and implying she'd suit up in no time. But let's think about that for a moment. Groin injuries involve some of the most deeply rooted muscles in the body, muscles critical for sudden stops, quick pivots, and explosive movement, all essential to Clark's game. This isn't a sprained wrist or a jammed finger. A strained groin muscle needs precision and patience when it comes to recovery, not hopeful guesses about return date. Research on groin injuries in athletes paints a pretty clear picture. On average, even a mild groin strain can take about 2 to 3 weeks to fully recover, while more significant strains might require 6 weeks or longer. And here's the kicker: trying to play through a groin injury or rushing a return isn't just impractical, it's dangerous. Medical studies suggest that ignoring proper rest can weaken the surrounding muscles, upping the risk of a more severe long-term injury. So why did the team frame this as day-to-day? Were they managing expectations, trying to keep fans engaged? Or was this more about strategy, keeping opponents guessing? Either way, the experts cited a reality more in line with Clark's continued absence. According to them, her situation is not day-to-day, but week-to-week at best. But here's the thing, this might not just be about a groin strain. What if this injury connects to a bigger issue Clark's been battling for months? After all, there's been talk about the lingering effects of her previous quad injury, and that raises even more questions. What if Caitlin Clark's groin injury isn't just a random setback? Think about it. Could this actually be connected to something deeper that's been building for months? Here's the thing, this isn't the first time her body's been pushed to its limits. Remember her quad injury not too long ago?
A little bit too quick. Played a pivotal role in what we seeing today, bro. It's just unfortunate, dog. Me personally, I don't think Caitlin Clark come back until All-Star break. Let's check out their schedule before we get into
if sometime soon the Indiana Fever pulls her and sits her for a few games. I think she is still battling some sort of injury. And less than 12 hours later, the news dropped from the Fever.
Day-to-day injury. It's a week-to-week injury, and she's already been injured longer than a week, man. She didn't miss 5 damn games, dog. This is major. Major on so many levels, bro.
Blow not only to Caitlin because we know that she loves to be on the court. It's a tough blow for the Indiana Fever because that is their superstar. Whether she is playing to the best of her abilities or not, they are still a better team with her on the court. And it's also a huge blow to the WNBA.
An expert broke it down perfectly when they said injuries beget injuries. And the more you look at what Clark's been dealing with, the more that statement makes sense. The grind of professional basketball isn't just tough, it's relentless. Every game is a battle, and Clark's style of play, constant movement, sudden sharp cuts, big stops, and explosive acceleration puts massive stress on her body. Now throw in her quick muscle development over the past year. That combination is a recipe for strain, and it could explain why her body hasn't had enough time to fully adapt. If her muscles were already taxed from recovering from the quad injury, it might have set her up for something like this groin strain to happen. Picture it like a chain reaction. When an athlete gets injured, even if it's just one part of their body, the rest has to overcompensate. Ever seen someone limp slightly after hurting one leg? It's like their whole system shifts to pick up the slack. That's how one injury can quietly lead to another. Studies have shown that when players return too quickly, they don't just risk re-injury, they also risk creating new problems in different areas because their movements aren't fully back to normal. Here's where things get interesting. The medical expert doesn't believe the groin and quad injuries are directly related, but they said it's all likely part of the same strain on her body.
We need answers. They've been lying to us, bro. I just hate to break it to everybody like that, but when you look at this thing as a whole, they have been lying, and they have been withholding information to the public, to the fans about Caitlin Clark injury.
Fans like it or not, it was proven the last time that she was out with injury that the WNBA does better when she is on the court.
Caitlin Clark injury is definitely a week-to-week basis. Clearly has been, and at this point, they're going to let her sit another damn week, and we're not going to see Caitlin Clark until the All-Star game.
Obviously such a crucial time and a crucial year for the league because they go into CBA negotiations at the end of the year. So my initial thoughts on this injury, my initial concerns with this injury is the fact that it is something that is still lingering and it seems to be jumping around.
So did the team know this was a risk? And if they did, why would they keep putting her in situations that strain her recovery? Was it pressure to perform or something else entirely? But this might not even be just about her injuries. What if this points to something bigger, like Clark's role on the team itself? Caitlin Clark's absence is raising more questions than the team seems willing to answer. Labeling her injury as day-to-day feels like more than optimism. It hints at a bigger issue with how the team views her. Are they protecting their star player, or has her role as the face of the franchise created pressure to downplay the truth? What do you think? Is the team making choices for her long-term well-being, or are they keeping fans in the dark? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story isn't over. Caitlin's journey is just beginning, and we'll be watching every move.